Hey, all right. Just had a little knock on the door there. Opened it up, and what did I find? These. Two of these babies. 20 by 11 9 GBC XC Masters 6 plies. You can see they've got some really good sized lugs. Nice big deep lugs. I had a couple of different friends recommend these to me. They're pretty affordable and good tires from what I've heard. They're a 6-ply tire, hold up well. You can see they've got a good grip all the way around. Real excited to try these out. Unfortunately, I went to load them up and this wheel was flat, and so I think what happened is when they put the outer locking ring on, these bolts that they sent are just a little bit too long. They don't squeeze the outer rubber part of the tire enough, and you see it actually bottomed out. And Alba didn't do this. This is a local shop. I won't name any names. I've always had good service there before, but it's one of the shops here in town. I paid to have these mounted, and they actually bottomed out the little bolt all the way against the inner part of the rim to the point where it like left divots all the way around. Now, if I'd have known that these were too long, I would have happily have bought shorter bolts or whatever, taking care of it, instead of just kind of jamming them in there like that. The rears, they didn't come out like that. The rears came out just fine. If you look inside here, not sure if you guys can see that or not. If you look inside here, the bolt was the perfect length and it squeezed it. It seems like they're all holding air good, and there's no, there is a little tiny gap, so it squeezed it nice and tight, and there's still space. Like you could tighten this up more because it squeezes that part together. But if you look at the ones on the front here, these go on the inside. These are the threaded piece that goes on the inside, and then this goes on the outside, and that squeezes your tire between the rim and the outer ring, and that's what holds it, tight on the wheel. But because these are so long, it squeezed the tire and then bottomed out, and like I said, there's like a ring all the way around now. So my solution was I went and got, these are M7s, and these are some lock washers. So I'm not sure if I'm going to run the lockers yet, but some 7-inch M7 washers here and some M7 lock washers there, and going to give that a try and see if it'll hold air. If that doesn't hold air, I might just end up trying to run like a bead of silicone sealant or something around just to seal that up so it'll hold the air in tight. Alright, so I got the wheel off, and I'm just taking a closer look here before I try and reinstall the ring. And I see, it looks like, when this tire was cut, when it was made, when it came out the mold, it still has like a ring all the way around here. It's kind of like an extra just lip of rubber that got stuck on there, and I think that's the side where it was leaking too. So this might have had something to do with the fact why it was leaking right there. The screws were still bottomed out, like I said before, where it dug into the rim all the way around. Not exactly happy about that. What I might do is take a little bit of like fingernail polish or something and just like blob it over that. But brand new rims, I'm not really terribly excited that happened. I wish they would have paid a little bit more attention when they were mounting it, that the thread was running out of room on the bottom. And then, obviously after it did it on the first one, instead of doing it on all of them all the way around, maybe like contact me and let me know they're too long, or just, give me the opportunity to do something besides just digging them all the way into the rim like that. On the back side of that, if that poked through, that's actually going to be an air leak too, because I think that's the back side of the rim. So, inside of the rim. So, oh well. Anyhow, I'm gonna see if I can get this fixed up here. It looks like the washer's worked. It's holding air. Awesome. And throw this front tire back on here. Throw the front wheel back on. Be able to go for maybe a ride tomorrow. We'll see. And yeah, the washer worked. I'll probably put washers on the other side too, just to make sure that, you know, same thing doesn't happen on the other side. Have it leak out on a trail ride or something out in the middle of nowhere. I'd rather have the extra threads to make sure it's nice and tight like this side. And yeah, haven't had any problems with the rears yet. They seem to be holding well, and they still have space, so I'm not too worried about those. But I do have, you know, a box of washers over here, plenty of extras. I think it was like $7 for the box. I'll take back the lock washers or just throw them in a drawer, or my spare metric bolt bin over there that I've been hanging on to. But yeah, pretty cool. I'm stoked. I can't wait to go for a ride with the new tires. It's going to be fun. Got the XC Masters in the back, like I was talking about in the last video. I went with the 20-inch rear tires instead of the 22s this time. I'm going to give those a whirl and see how they go with the 21-inch GNCC, ITP GNCC fronts that I have. Same ones I have on actually the YFC 450. 21-inch GNCCs. I have yet to get a flat tire with these, which is pretty incredible considering that I went through tires left and right before I switched to these. Just the rocks and the sticks and everything else. It was just constant flat tires. These 2-3 years in a row now, not a single flat tire. So I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, so the next thing I'm going to work on, I've got the light bar sitting right there underneath the stand for the Banshee there. And I'm going to put that on the front of this YFZ 450. I'm not really sure exactly how I'm going to do that yet. I was talking about the bracket earlier that I'm going to probably make. I have to find the hardware that, you know, came with it first. It's around here somewhere. My shop got kind of a mess. But it's in a little white box. I'm sure it's lurking around here somewhere. I just got to find it. And yeah, fashion up some sort of a bracket with some elbows that'll go on the front here. Take this bumper off and then put the bracket on and then bolt the bumper on over the top of that. Mount the bar somewhere right in here. Hopefully not blocking the radiator too much. It's a little bit higher up in this. I might be able to take the stock headlights completely off if the light bar works out well. And then, you know, it'll have plenty of flow where the old light housings were to go straight to the radiator, which is actually kind of behind that right there. So if I do put the light bar on down here, I might take that off. I don't know, I might leave those on. I've got a temperature gauge on this so I can kind of keep an eye on it and make sure it's not overheating. If I do have heat issues, I'll definitely be taking off the stock lights though, because I know that the light bar already is going to be a lot brighter than these things. So we'll see.